let's get into that, man. Let's talk more about, about Prominent and what you guys are doing, because, you're doing something. I mean, you see, kind of recruitment happening, but from the franchising model, like at what point did you decide, hey, we're going to kind of launch into that to help this agency ownership and this whole development model? When did that process kind of kick off for you?
So it basically, when being in my journey, just figuring out that we needed help. So, like in our, unfortunately, like we just came back from the NIA conference, so we've seen Black excellence.
Yeah.
You've seen that, but outside of that, we don't have the mentorship, we don't have the resources. At least I didn't at that particular time. To, if I want to start an agency, if I want to be a producer, what should I be doing? Where should I be going? What should be my concentration? What should be my clientele base? How can I build it out? Where's the scripts to use? What's the process do I have to do to be able to build this relationship? Where should I start? I didn't have none of that. I would gather that from other people as I learned in the business. Oh, I like how he does this, because I didn't really reinvent any wheel. Hey, I like how he does that. Let me grab that. I like how he does this. Let me grab that. That's interesting. I like that as well. Let me grab that. So in my 12-year journey, as well as my partner, because I got a partner as well, Jeffrey Benson, Chief Operating Officer. We have developed this system, and we're able to franchise it. We got processes, procedures. There's nothing that you have to think about when you get into this with us, because we know, you quite familiar, I'm pretty sure. When you start an agency, man, with no mentorship, we fall in all the holes.
Yeah.
There's nobody telling you, watch out for that one, or watch out for this one. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of this. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what I would concentrate on, and this is how you get them. Let me help you. Let me come with you on appointments. Let me do this. We didn't have that, So we've seen the need for it, especially in our community, because what we're trying to do, as you alluding to, get more people in this $5 trillion industry, but we're concentrating on minorities in particular, because you have the Brightways, you have the other franchise companies, getting the masses. We're just trying to make our people in particular aware of this, bring a social justice piece as well, so they can have a living wage, something that they can live off of and build a career off of, because as I do, this is a rewarding industry. So if we have the platform, the processes, the market, and all the instructions how to win, then there's nothing for you to do but just keep moving forward and moving up. So this is what we wanted to provide, and this is what we have provided. And we just actually got our franchise disclosure document in September. So we only 1 month in trying to get our people into this franchise model. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So we perfect timing, to be talking about this. And by the time you listen to this conversation, it'll probably be 3-4 months out.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that folks are engaging and finding out ways that they can get their Prominent insurance agency kind of built up. You mentioned some of the other companies that are out there. You also mentioned kind of the social justice component. I think we're in a very interesting just kind of climate in this country. How do you feel the social justice initiatives have kind of impacted our industry from maybe a services standpoint, but also from a ownership and engagement career standpoint as well?
I mean, as you can see, everybody's on diversifying. Everybody's on, diversity, trying to get more minority participation, whether on a carrier level or the agency level or any type of level. They're trying to be compliant, and it's a good thing. But with anything, if you don't strike while the iron's hot, you could lose out on an opportunity. But we're here for the long run. We really see how big this industry is. We see less than 10% of the less than 10% of this industry is minority. And we're just trying to fill that gap, whether it be a 5% increase, 10% increase that we could bring to the market, that's a benefit for the whole, because more firepower, more, intellectual capital, we can make this industry much better, and once we get into it becomes
You're right.
swag. You know what I mean? We bring the swag to it.
Right.
But I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. I like I like everybody that's pushing this. I appreciate everybody that's pushing this industry forward, giving it a good name, doing the right thing by their clients, man. I applaud everybody that's doing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as you continue to kind of move forward, and it sounds like, kind of the long-term strategy is to build out, the franchise model and really kind of lend that support to new people. But what keeps you motivated, like on a day-to-day? You've been in the business, 12 years, 10 plus years. I mean, listen, you and I know, like, if you make it past your first year in the business, you've done a lot, right?
Yes.
If you make it past 3 years, okay, you here forever, basically. So 12 years in, what keeps you going on a day-to-day basis?
Just, I would say God first, keeping God first, my family, serving my clients as well. It's just all of that. Cause every day when you're in business in particular, there's ebbs and flows, ups and downs.
Yeah.
I may want to quit tomorrow, but today I'm happy. I'm doing an interview with my brother, but that's how business is. It's just ups and downs. And that's what keeps me going. God, keeping God first, staying grounded, your family knowing what you're doing it for, why. You got to come in and get some no's, why you got to have these conversations, because it's not easy to have conversations with people because everybody's not pleasant, So, it becomes difficult. Like, I got to make this call, I got to do this. I got to, because I don't want to hit, man. And then you got people that you look forward to speaking to. Hey, what's going on? How's everything going? But it's all of that combined, just and love. I love our clients, being able to educate them. I love when a client says, wow, I never heard that before. Nobody told me that. Wow, I didn't know I can use the insurance to do this. You spoke about general liability. There's so many things you can do with general liability that our people don't understand. Just having a lawyer on payroll for what your policy premium is. I didn't break that down to him. I say, what's your policy premium? Just say your policy premium is $1,000 a year. I said, a good lawyer costs you $450 an hour. You have a lawyer or retainer for personal liability. These are things you in a supermarket, you run somebody over by accident with the cart, break an old lady hip by accident. She got to get surgery. Call your insurance company. Personal liability. You didn't do it on purpose. But that could have cost somebody $150,000 worth of surgery. Now you don't have to come out of your pocket. Your premium is paying for that, don't you? I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, it has. So we're not educated. So our goal is to educate our community, because a lot of times in our community they think insurance is a racket. Why? Because half the time they purchase a policy, they get the instructions from a third party. So for instance, if you come in to do business with me, I'm saying, hey, Rod, I need you to get this, this, and this, but I'm giving you instructions to protect me. I don't know what you need. I'm just telling you what I need for you to do business with me as a contractor. Then you go to your insurance agent, who is usually, just a policy recorder, and he says, hey, this is what my contractor said I need, and they just give you that. And then if a claim happens, the money that is paid is only paid. It goes right past you to the person that gave you instructions to get in. You like, well, where's mine at? They never ask you those questions. They order takers. So we in there. We want to educate our people, whether or not they can afford our recommendations. My job and our job is to make sure you know of your vulnerabilities. Right. I did my job. If hey, this is what you need. This is why you need it, to protect from these things that may happen in your business or may not happen. This is why you need this line. This is why you need this line to protect these things. Now, whether or not you can purchase it at that particular time, in the back of your head what is needed. And periodically we remind you, hey, you got those two. Are you ready, in position to do this? Oh yeah, I'm ready now. Let's add that coverage. But that's our job, is to educate our community, because our people in particular don't get educated.
Yeah.
They just, they just get what somebody else told them to get.
That's
So we
it.
want to be positive. And usually, when you're dealing with that $10,000 and under in revenue, so if somebody's paying $100,000 in premium or anything, just say somebody's paying $50,000 or less, they're not getting that advisory. The bigger companies don't even want that type of client. They say it's not profitable. But we found ways to make that business profitable,
Yeah.
and it's just educating them as well.
Absolutely, man. Look, I love the way that you take the concepts and you break them down from a standpoint of just making it relatable, to your day-to-day life. Like the grocery store example, something happens, boom, you got the attorney on retainer through your personal liability. No, that's just such a wonderful analogy, man. That's like, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Because it really does kind of speak to, that empowerment, that we're able to offer when we communicate this information the right way, particularly to our communities. And what you just mentioned, we haven't always been educated. And it's interesting because I was just having a conversation earlier today where, I was talking about kind of the old way, this industry has worked versus the new way this industry works. And in that old way, it's like, hey, I'm going to, somebody's going to give you something based on whatever, they feel like you might need, maybe some questions, probably something you can't understand. Then later on, somebody's going to ask you, well, what you got? You're going to say, I don't know. I got something,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But in the new way, like where we are now, it really is about kind of educating in such a way where the consumer or business owner can strategically see how these coverages kind of fit their long-term strategy, fit their goal, fit where they want to go. And I can tell that, you're in that consultative conversation, with them. It's more of instead of it just being an agent and client, it's more like, hey, we're two partners coming together to figure out what your objectives are.
That's right. And that's the goal right there. You just hit it on the head. That's the goal.